The Detroit Lions sit at 8-3 heading into week 13. We still have Monday Night Football to go in week 12, but heading into week 13, we sit at 8-3 in third place in the NFC, and I believe they might be fourth or fifth in the entire NFL. And we go to play the Saints. We'll say hello to our old friend Jamal Williams. The Saints will be without Marshawn Lattimore. They will be without Michael Thomas. Both of those guys are on IR, and they could be without Chris Olave. He had a concussion. He has to clear concussion protocol, but we'll break that down later in the week. But the Lions have a real opportunity to go places this year. Now, I want to ask you in the comment section below. I've been hearing a lot since the Thanksgiving loss that the Detroit Lions are ahead of schedule in year 3. And I'm wondering, what does that mean for you, ahead of schedule? So for me, what I think it means is that we're overachieving. We're doing better than we should be in year 3 of a rebuild, right? That's what I hear, is that we are doing better than expected. And I don't believe that at all. I don't think that you can say a team that is 8-2 is overachieving, 8-3 now with a chance to be the number 1 seed, that we're over. So if we were to go and get to the NFC title game, would that be overachieving in your opinion? So I don't know. The phrase ahead of schedule bothers me because we've been behind schedule for 90 years and we're ahead of schedule. What schedule is that? To be what? We're going to be year 4. We're going to be better than year 3, and year 5, we're going to win a Super Bowl, right? You don't know how the year is going to go. Next year, we could go right back and be 4-13, something crazy like that. So I don't believe that's going to happen. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be real. There are no guarantees in life or the NFL, right? So I think the Lions are on an upward trajectory, but there is no guarantee. So if you have an opportunity to do something, take advantage of it. I sincerely doubt that as Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are trying to get this team to the playoffs, trying to win the division, that they're going to go into the playoffs saying that we're overachieving, right? They're going to go and try to take this whole thing. So we'll see how that goes. But anyway, I'm a huge number guy. I'm a huge numbers guy. I love analytics. I love patterns. I love that type of stuff. Not really into math, but I like numbers. I like analytical data. That's what I love. That's why that's one of the ways you can be successful on YouTube. You have to be able to watch and follow numbers. So I love to do that. And here's how I think that the 2023 NFL season is going to end for your Detroit Lions. I know you're like, well, Derek, we still got 6 games left. There are still 2.5 months. We have 2.5 months of the season. The Super Bowl isn't until February 11th. We still got 10 weeks before that. Why are you trying to end something that you can't wait gets here? Just something I like to do. I'm not trying to end it. I just like to do this type of stuff. I love it. I love trying to figure this. This is my favorite time of year. Playoff football, I would say after the playoff push, once the playoff push starts, I love this time of year. It's my favorite part of the football season. So anyway, here's what I think is going to happen for the Detroit Lions in the 2023 NFL season. All right. So first of all, let's take a look at the current standings for the NFL on the NFC. The Philadelphia Eagles are right now the number 1 seed. They have a comfortable lead against the rest of the teams. This is going to be very interesting because coming up this week, the Niners go into Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a huge game for both teams. If the Eagles win this game, I think they have the number 1 seed wrapped up. I 100% believe that. I think yesterday that victory against the Buffalo Bills pretty much solidifies that the Eagles will be in the number 1 seed. The only way they can be knocked off now is the 49ers have to beat them, the Dallas Cowboys have to beat them, and they have to lose again to they got to drop like 3 in a row because their last 3 games are cake. So I don't think the Eagles lose. They might lose 3, but I think that's as high as that goes. So they're going to have the number 1 seed. I'm still going to make videos about it until it's mathematically not possible. But I don't really believe the Lions are going to get it because the Eagles, they have a tough schedule, but they keep on winning. So I think the 49ers, here's where it gets good. If the Eagles beat the 49ers drop to 8-4. If the Lions win against the Saints, the Lions go to 9-3. They would move up into the 2nd seed. I think that the Lions are going to have the 2nd or 3rd seed heading into the playoffs. They're not going to drop any lower than that. If we go back and we look at the NFC South leader. We beat the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons keep hopping back and forth between the Falcons and the Saints. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are out of it at 4-7. So, and as right now, wait a minute, wow, they've fallen out of the playoffs. So the Saints need this game as well. So basically, look at that. The Rams and the Green Bay Packers are both 1 and 2 games out of the playoffs, respectively, or 2 spots. So I think what's going to happen is that this is going to go to the Saints or Falcons. The Lions are going to be 2 and 3. I think the Cowboys, if they can't close on the Eagles, they will be number 5, and they might be resting players by the time we get there if they can't be any better than 5. But this has been an ongoing thing for the Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. I think the last 2 spots are going to go to a number of these 3 teams. It's going to go to Vikings, the Seahawks, Packers, or Rams. So you know what? I'll throw the Packers in there. So one of 4 teams are going to get 2 spots. But I think the Detroit Lions are going to have at least spot 2 or 3. Obviously, they won't be better than or worse than 4. So I think that they're going to have this, especially with the win over the Saints. So they will have either the 2nd or 3rd seed. Now, why is that relevant? Why does that matter? Well, we've already been in this video for 6 minutes, so I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. And then I'll tell you what I think is going to happen for the season. If we go back to let's skip the 2018 playoffs. Right now in the NFC or AFC, you had the 1st and 2nd seed make the wild card or the championship game. You had the LA Rams and New Orleans Saints make the championship game. Okay, on both conferences respectively. Now, if you look, that is seeds 1 and 2. So I went back 5 years. Let's see how many years out of the 5 years of the last Super Bowl appearances, how many of the teams were 1 and 2. So the 2018 season, it was seeds 1 and 2 in both conferences that went to the Super Bowl. Let's go to 1920. 1920 in the NFC, it was seeds 1 and 2. In the AFC, it was seeds 2 and 6. Number 6 knocked off Baltimore, and that was a rare occasion. So if you can see in the NFC, that is for 1 and 2 go to the title game. In the AFC, not so much. So we'll say 1.5 times that the 1st and 2nd seed made the conference game. Now let's look at 2021. If we go to the AFC, seeds 1 and 2 made it, and we'll say, and then we have seeds 1 and 5 made it to the title game. So that is a total of 2 out of 3 times. If we include the half times, that's 2 out of 3 times that the number 2 seed and number 1 seed made the championship game. Now, there are instances that you can have an upset, like when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did it a couple years ago. Let's go to 2021. Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, 1 and 2. Oh, I think I already did that one. Right, I already did that one. Okay, let's go to 2021-22. Now, this one was an anomaly. We had the 6th seed and the 4th seed make the championship game, and the 4th seed and the 2nd seed make the championship game. So this one doesn't count. So that's what, 3 times? 3 out of 4 times that the 1 and 2 seed has made it. Now let's go to last year. Seeds 1 and 3, seeds 1 and 2. So I lost track of how many times it was. You guys can count in the comment section. But for the most part, under rare circumstances, if you see what the patterns are, seeds 1 and 2 make the championship game. One of the teams, it was only 1 year, which was the anomaly year, in my opinion, which was when I lost it, when Matthew Stafford went to the Super Bowl in his 1st year with the LA Rams. So how do I think the Detroit Lions season is going to end? And I'm going to try to make this quick. The Detroit Lions, any given Sunday, can beat anyone. They can lose to anyone. We saw that happen Thursday. Now, granted, they had 3 games in 11 days. And I will cut them a little bit of slack for that. But we get into the playoffs. We're going to be seeds either seed 2 or 3. If we are seed 2, I think if we're seed 2, I think we go to the NFC title game. I think we win the division round. I think we win the wild card round as well. And we go on the road to the NFC title game. there is a possibility that if the Lions are number 2 or 3, that they could also host the NFC title game. So I think they have to be 1. I think they have to be 2 to make the NFC title game. If they make the NFC, if they're the 2nd seed, I think they make it to the NFC title game. If they are the 3rd seed, I think it's more than likely that we lose in the divisional round, because we're probably going to have to go on the road, if we're the 3rd seed, on the road to play the San Francisco 49ers. If we are the 2nd seed, it's quite possible that we could host the San Francisco 49ers. And I think we have a better chance of beating them there. So if you're following along, the 1st and 2nd seed, about 75% of the time, make the championship game. It's 1st and 2nd seed. I would say 3 out of every 4 times, the 1st and 2nd seed make the title game. It's just the 1st seed has the weakest schedule and they have home field advantage. So that's almost a guarantee. So I'm going to say right now that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to be in the championship game. I think if the number 2 seed is also going to be there as well, if there's any team that can upset and make it and not be the 2nd seed, I think it is the Detroit Lions. We are scrappy, we are gritty, but we have to figure things out before it's too late, right? That we have to. We absolutely have to. Now, I've said this before, how I think this thing is going to go, and let's go back to the 20, and I enjoy this type of stuff, so if you don't, I understand. But let's go back and real quick, let's look at how I think this thing is going to go. I truly believe that the Eagles are going to get the 1st seed. It really depends on what happens down the stretch. The Lions are going to get 1 and 2, and the winner of the 4th seed is going to be either the Saints or the Falcons. It really depends. If we're not going to do the Saints any favors with the win this Sunday. I think the Cowboys are going to be locked into the 5th seed. They cannot. This has been going on for years with them. And here's where it gets good. We play the Vikings twice. We play them twice. So they could either get bounced out or slide in. I think, honestly, it's going to go like this. The number 6 seed is going to be, I don't know the schedule. I think the Rams are going to slide in at 7. I really, truly believe that. They might even have a way to get to 6 if they can string a couple victories together. I forgot who they play coming up. It could be a tough matchup coming up, but I think the Rams slide in. I think the 2 teams that do not make the playoffs are going to be the Seahawks and the Packers. I think the Rams and Vikings make the playoffs. You could also bounce out the Vikings if they lose to us twice and probably replace them with the Packers. I think the Seahawks are going to fall out of contention and be replaced by one of these teams. So I'm sorry that this video was so long. You know me, I like to keep them under 10 minutes, but sometimes they take quite a bit of explaining. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you don't like this type of video, I understand. I'm going to keep making it because some people do, and I enjoy making it. So let me know your thoughts on where you think the Detroit Lions can end. So to be clear, I think the Detroit Lions get the 2nd or 3rd seed. If they get the 2nd seed, I think they go to the NFC title game. Statistically, it happens. I think if they have the 3rd seed, they have a chance to win the divisional round, but I think that's where we stop. I think it's much better to host the divisional round than to go on the road, because I think we're going to have to play the San Francisco 49ers. This is all assuming we win our first playoff game and wild card game, which I think is going to happen. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.